And get started. So we have a packed agenda, as I've said. Today's webinar is going to dive into Global Volunteer Month, which happens each April, all month long. I'd love to start out and introduce myself. I'm Kristen Whitaker. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications here at Points of Light. I am joined today by my colleagues at Points of Light, Lauren Reynolds, who's our Vice President of Network and NGO Programs, as well as Jen Labonte, who is our Director of Social Media and Content Creation. So on today's call, I know it's only an hour, but we are going to go through a lot. We're going to talk a little bit about Points of Light, in case you are not familiar with us. We're going to talk mostly about Global Volunteer Month. We're going to talk about why coming together to celebrate and increasing volunteering is critically important right now, ways to participate and join the Global Volunteer Month movement, as well as share some resources to help you do that. And the most exciting part, I think, always, is you'll get to hear from 3 of our amazing NGO partners who are making great strides with Global Volunteer Month, how they're doing it, how they did it in 2024, and what their plans are in 2025. So let's talk a little bit about Points of Light. We were founded 35 years ago. 2025 is our 35th anniversary, and we are very excited to celebrate all year long, and Global Volunteer Month is one of the ways that we'll be doing that. Our mission is to inspire, equip, and mobilize people to take action that changes the world through volunteering. How we do that is by building the capacity of nonprofits and nonprofit leaders, advancing corporate social impact. Jen, if you can advance to the next slide, please. And equipping our sector through convenings such as the Points of Light Conference, data and insights. Next slide, please. We are in 32 countries, engage nearly 4 million volunteers annually through our partners and networks. And we have a legacy recognition program called the Daily Point of Light Award. It was started in the White House and still to this day recognizes everyday volunteers each weekday. We are celebrating our 8,000th Daily Point of Light honoree next week on February 7th. I think that's next week. And so just want to give a quick shout out because this is something that you can nominate your local volunteers for. As a part of Global Volunteer Month, we put a lot of energy into amplifying volunteer stories. So one of our team members is going to hopefully drop a link in the chat to information about the Daily Point of Light award and a nomination form. We believe at Points of Light that the most powerful force in the world is the individual who's realized their potential to do good, yet complex and urgent challenges threaten communities around the world. It's in these times of pressing challenges that our work has never been more critical. Loneliness, which we've all heard about, lack of trust in institutions. People are really struggling with well-being and connection, and that has an impact, as we know, on individuals, communities, and society. At Points of Light, we like to call this the triple bottom line. Individuals feel more isolated and alone, which we know can lead to fear or less willingness to engage with others, which impacts willingness to volunteer. Lack of volunteers, which leads to critical community needs going unmet. And all of these issues combined underpin our ability collectively as a sector to bring our society together and strengthen our social fabric. But we believe there's hope to solve the world's biggest problems, and what we know is a proven antidote to some of those things that I just mentioned to combat those issues is volunteering. So right now, I'm sure this information is not necessarily new to those of you on the call, but based on the AmeriCorps and US Census study that's done every couple of years, the formal rate of volunteering right now in the US is 28%. Up from an all-time low of 23% just 2 years ago, but still short of pre-pandemic levels. Globally, the volunteering rate is just 6.5%. If you can go to the next slide, Jen, please. What if we could increase the rate of volunteering exponentially? That's where Global Volunteer Month and our collective work together comes in. So Global Volunteer Month was created several years ago to recognize and amplify the critical and inspirational work that volunteers are doing around the world, as well as sound the alarm on the need to volunteer in every community. To date, We've collectively impacted over 1 million individuals just in the last 4 to 5 years through the campaign, through all of your efforts. We've obtained nearly 1 billion last year alone in media and campaign reach and engagement through Global Volunteer Month, and we feel this is just the beginning. This is where we need your help to continue this path and engage even more volunteers, and we at Points of Light are here to support you with resources, and we hope that you are inspired by what you hear today. And please, at the end of the webinar, let us know what else we can do, what else might be needed or missing, and we will talk about that as a team after today's webinar. I'm going to turn it over to Jen, who's going to talk about ways to participate.
Hey, Kristen, I get to do the fun stuff. So we have collectively come up with different ways to utilize your organization within Global Volunteer Month throughout the entire month, and putting together, in essence, themes for you. Before we even kick off Global Volunteer Month, we invite you to start letting your audience know through February and March that you are going to be participating, inviting them to join you as well. I'll go over these individually, but just to kind of give you some a breakout of the dates. Thank a Volunteer is going to be on April 1st. That's what we're calling our social surge. Early April through mid-April, we're going to do more of a Why I Volunteer campaign, where we'll be having you and everybody involved aim to highlight the diverse ways that people across the globe are volunteering. And then towards the end of April, that's where the call to action really comes in. Volunteer today, and that's going to look different for everybody. So those are just a quick overview of what the different themes per se are going to look like throughout the month. Diving a little bit deeper into each of those. The Thank a Volunteer campaign, again, like I said, is on April 1st. This is a digital campaign. We're asking everybody on April 1st to post about Global Volunteer Month. It can be as simple as using our social press kit, which we'll go into in a little bit. We have done for you graphics and captions. So it could be just as simple as posting that, or you can dive in a little bit deeper and create a Thank a Volunteer campaign starting on April 1st that goes through the whole month. You can nominate somebody for a Daily Point of Light Award, like Kristen mentioned, but we do ask, especially on this day, that you use the Global Volunteer Month hashtag and Thank a Volunteer so that we are able to easily see what you are posting out there and highlight that and uplift it on our pages as well. Into the Why I Volunteer campaign, again, you can use our done for you captions and graphics. You can also start to share stories and highlight someone that's making a difference. You can lean into your staff and your team or your board. You can lean into your volunteers. It could look different for every single organization, but this is where you can start to use a little bit of creativity when it comes to creating videos or quote graphics or anything that resonates with you. One of the things that we see a lot that works really well, and it's a very easy lift for most organizations, is just simply to integrate existing volunteer projects and events. And I'm going to pass this over to Lauren real quick because this is kind of her bread and butter.
Thank you so much, Jen. As we know that there's a lot of great things happening in the month of April, in addition to Global Volunteer Month, whether you're planning some of your own local events or volunteer projects, but also just some of those more national or local campaigns like Earth Day and Good Deeds Day. So we really encourage you to think about how
Sorry. My mouse is going crazy.
So sorry. So we really encourage you to think about how Global Volunteer Month can really complement what you already are planning for in April. And we're excited that we have some special guests today to plant some ideas and share ways that they have done that for themselves as well.
Thank you, Lauren. And also on this, we encourage you to use that Why I Volunteer hashtag as well as Global Volunteer Month. We're excited about uplifting stories to our audience as well. And then the final way that you can uplift through these themes per se is that Volunteer Today. This is where that call to action comes in. Once again, we have graphics and captions for you. You can share your volunteer opportunities within your organization, or if you're looking for other ideas, we have our Points of Light Engaged database that you can share. with thousands of opportunities, both remote and in person. You can showcase how individuals within your organization directly are contributing to community-driven initiatives. So lots of different ideas, but again, be sure to use that Volunteer Today hashtag as well. We are going to save this just for a little bit because this is, again, a fun thing to preview, but I did want to mention this social press kit once again. Inside there, you will have done for you social media posts, email templates, press release templates, Global Volunteer Month logo in 13 different languages, because again, this is truly global, as well as National Volunteer Week social media posts and graphics. So just know that that exists, and we'll do a little show and tell of that in just a few moments.
Thanks, Jen. As you can see, there are so many fun and creative ways to elevate Global Volunteer Month on social media in April. And so if any of these have piqued your interest, we really hope and encourage you to join the more than 200 organizations from around the world that have already raised their hand to become Global Volunteer Month champions. During Global Volunteer Month, our champions are going to play a very important role in amplifying and sharing the inspiring stories of volunteerism and encouraging individuals everywhere to make a difference. And so we've dropped in the chat the link to learn more about what it means to become a Global Volunteer Month champion and how to sign up. It takes only 30 seconds to sign up to be a champion, and we hope you will all consider this for this year. So moving to the next slide. So in addition to our Global Volunteer Month champions, we also have our Global Volunteer Month program partners. Each program partner serves as the signature partner for a cause area. And many of these cause areas we know are also ones that your organizations are supporting. And so going back to what Kristen shared about the importance of volunteerism, volunteers are helping to address some of the world's most challenging issues. And as we celebrate the power of volunteerism in April, we want to do so by also highlighting these causes and the incredible work being done in support of them. And so today we're excited to announce our first 6 2025 program partners. We have the AARP Foundation, Repair the World, Operation Gratitude, the National Park Service, Best Friends Animal Society, and AmeriCorps. And we are anticipating a few more leading up to April. And so thank you to some of our program partners who were able to join today's call, and we're really excited about the partnership for this year. Jen, you're on mute.
I got that. Thank you. So next, we're going to go into some of those tools and resources that I mentioned. I'm going to switch over here to another screen so that okay. So this is a social press kit that I mentioned earlier. If you are not familiar with this, there's lots of valuable information in here. We'll go through it very quickly. Again, if you're looking for some of those key dates, you'll see those on the right side. You can also visit our Global Volunteer Month store, learn a little bit about it, find our hashtags. And as you go down a little bit lower, Global Volunteer Month, all the graphics and social captions are done for you here. So the way that this works is you would go down here to your share a link button, and this is done for every single platform. All you would do is click on that button. It will pull up a new page. You are able to edit the caption if you'd like to customize it and make it a little bit more your own, or you can simply hit send and it will post directly to your platform. It'll ask you to join, and so it literally is like a 2-step process. Again, you can customize that. As we scroll down, you can see there's multiple graphics to choose from, as well as different platforms. I won't go all the way down, but you can see here's Instagram, for example. So that's available for you to make it super easy. If you are looking to really just create something that's more yourself, but you want to use our graphics, if you click over to the All Graphics page, you can find all of those here for you that you can just simply download by clicking on it. We also have logos for Global Volunteer Month with the Place of Light logo and without. So we're giving you that option, as well as all of those beautiful logos in the different languages in full color and white. And also National Volunteer Week logos. Speaking of National Volunteer Week, we have a few captions and graphics for you here. National Volunteer Week is April 20th through the 22nd, 20th through the 26th. It's a great extension of Global Volunteer Month. We see a lot of activity during that time as well. So again, this is another touch point, another way for you to mention volunteering throughout the month of April. And lastly, we click into our resources page. You can find downloadable email and press release templates. You will find links to take the Global Volunteer Month pledge for individuals, as well as that Become a Champion link that Lauren mentioned. We also have a Global Volunteer Month YouTube video if you'd like to access that and use it in your social media or live. And again, here's your Global Volunteer Month store. So that is the social press kit. And let me click back over. All right. Additional resources, I think Lauren's going to mention these for you.
Thank you so much, Jen. And one thing I'll note, because I've seen it pop up quite a bit in the chat, the recording of this webinar, as well as a copy of this deck with all the links and all the information, will be shared with you. So no worries there if you miss a link in the chat or want to be able to share these resources with maybe some of your colleagues or other organizations in your communities. And so in addition to this amazing social press kit that Jen shared, we will also be sharing some other resources that can not only support your Global Volunteer Month planning, but we hope can help support projects and initiatives that you're working on throughout the year. And so one of the links in here, and we won't walk through, just in the interest of time, all of these and share them on screen, but just so you know what's coming when you receive this deck. We offer a page of DIY projects that offer a wide variety of easy and scalable project ideas around a wide variety of cause areas. And they include supply lists and detailed instructions and everything you need to be able to stand up these types of projects. And most of them are kid-friendly. So for those of you that are looking for ideas for engaging the next generation of volunteers, we hope that some of these resources will be helpful to you. We also have a few resources around volunteer recruitment and engagement. And we know that that is, of course, top of mind for so many of our organizations and how we best bring volunteers into our projects and help support our programs. And then in terms of the Points of Light Civic Circle, if you're not familiar with the Civic Circle, it really reflects that supporting the causes we care about comes in many shapes and forms. And using our voice, making a donation, they all go hand in hand with volunteerism. And we have a wide variety of resources for each of the civic circles. And because we believe that listening and learning is at the heart of everything that we do, we have also developed a series of data sheets on a variety of cause areas, many of which I'm sure you're supporting, that can serve as resources for you, but also for your volunteers. And we hope will really help reinforce that why that we keep talking about. Why are we volunteering, and what are the challenges that we are trying to solve for? So now we are very excited to introduce our first guest speaker to share a bit about how they participated in Global Volunteer Month last year and also their plans for this year. And so excited to introduce Melissa Levine from Repair the World.
Thank you. Hi. I'm not able to turn my video on, if that can happen. There we go. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Levine. I'm Senior Director of Field Activation at Repair the World. Big thank you to Points of Light for having us on the call today and giving Repair the World this awesome spotlight. Repair the World mobilizes Jews and their communities to take action to pursue a just world, igniting a lifelong commitment to service. And at Repair the World, we believe service in support of social change is vital to a flourishing Jewish community and inspired Jewish life. We have an exciting goal to inspire 1 million acts of service and learning by 2030. We are well on our way. One of our strategies for achieving this goal is through partnerships like with Points of Light and committing to Global Volunteer Month. We activate our partners, our volunteer networks, and engage in opportunities such as Passover Earth Day Challenge, which you see here on the screen. Our process and the core concept around this challenge was to launch a way for young adults to engage in Passover learning, Passover experiences, while combining it with environmental action. This challenge ran from the start of Passover last year through Earth Day, so in around 2 weeks in April 2024, really engaging participants in daily environmental service acts. Our target audience was 18 to 25-year-olds, specifically social media users, which is probably 99.9% of them, where we aim to connect ancient Jewish traditions of Passover with their passion for climate action. And so on a day-to-day basis, they were engaging with us on social media, doing a variety of tasks, which I'll get through. This initiative provided really meaningful ways to engage with the holiday of Passover through contemporary real-life environmental issues that were really relevant in April 2024. Next slide, please. So our participants engaged in these daily actionable tasks that really, like I said, address the modern environmental plagues, if you will, through activities that included clothing donation, tree planting, cleanups, carpooling, reducing food waste, and so much more. We provided a digital workbook, which I will link after the call or make sure that it's sent out, which really allowed our participants to engage on their own time. We learned from Gen Z that it is their time, their customized schedule, and it's sometimes more impactful to go that route. And that workbook was a huge hit. It discussed environmental education, reflection opportunities, all through our Jewish culture and Jewish values, a lens that provided that. We incentivized engagement on social media through prizes and sustainable care packages or reposts and retweets, the stuff that's exciting for these social media users. And participants then shared their stories and reflections back with us. And this wouldn't be possible without key partnerships, specifically Points of Light. And we also had strong partnerships with organizations within our Jewish Service Alliance, which is a group of Jewish organizations across the globe who have committed to infusing service and learning throughout their programming, through their constituencies, through their organizations. And so we had fraternities and young adult engagement organizations all participate in this campaign. And to this day, we're really seeing the broader impact. Partnerships grow, our young adults are continuing to be engaged. We're building bridges in communities that have shared environmental interests and more. And it's been incredibly successful. Next slide, please. So after the success of this program, again, big thank you to Points of Light for this partnership, we then decided let's institute 2 seasons throughout our calendar year where we're engaging people similar to Good Global Volunteer Month and Good Deeds Day to do service, to bring it to their communities twice a year, and we provide a micro grant. So we had one in the fall. It surrounded themes of the Jewish high holidays, the October 7th attacks on Israel, and a handful of other pieces that we put together, and we provided grants for up to $1,000 for organizations, and we saw over 12,000 participants engage in meaningful Jewish service. So this spring, we're really excited to partner with Points of Light and other organizations to run our spring what we call our activations, this mini grant cycle, where we're going to weave themes of Good Deeds Day, Global Volunteer Month, Passover again, Earth Day, Holocaust Remembrance Day, all into one 4-week season where organizations across the globe can join us in service. Specifically, we're really pushing the Good Deeds Day, of course, and Global Volunteer Month, but that they're joining us, engaging their people in service, meaningful organizations, and we're able to offset some of the costs that may come from running this service, from our programming. And so we hope to reach another amazing goal of over 10,000 participants. And we couldn't have done it without Points of Light and the inspiration that we got from our season in April. So again, big thank you. We're honored, we're grateful. And if anybody has any questions, my information is available after the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I'm now excited to introduce Hannah Voino from Good Deeds Day.
Great. I'm just trying to get my video on. There we go. Perfect. So hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Really great to be here with all of you. Always exciting to talk about Global Volunteer Month and all the different ways people can get involved in April. It's really wonderful to see people coming together during a specific time of the year. You guys are all doing amazing things throughout the entire year. So to come together specifically on one time only amplifies the impact we can make. And that's really the essence of Good Deeds Day. So Good Deeds Day is a global movement of doing good. It's active all year round with our peak day on April 6th this year. Although Good Deeds Day is also celebrated throughout all of April, even May and June. So feel free to have your Good Deeds Day on a different date of the year or in that month. That's totally fine as well. Great to see some of the Good Deeds Day partners in the chat. I think Lauren, can you put the slide went down?
Jen, are you able to? There we go.
Oh, Jen, thank you. So basically Good Deeds Day is in 115 countries around the globe. The idea is to do good in whatever way that means for you and for your organization. We're all about sustainable, long-term, positive impact. And we love partnering with Global Volunteer Month and Points of Light and Earth Day and National Volunteer Week and other amazing initiatives happening in April, because we really believe that when we join together, we can do more good. It's as simple as that. We really believe doing good is a lifestyle, and every person can do good in his or her own way and can play a positive role to create sustainable change in our communities. Like that's the essence of what we are and who we are. So it's super easy. And taking part as in Good Deeds Day allows organizations, whether you're an NGO or a volunteer center or another kind of community organization or even companies, allows you to really shine a light on what you're doing to get more people involved, to get greater support from potential partners, as well as bring in, as from sponsors, excuse me, as well as bring in more partners and allow you to continue doing the good that you're doing throughout the whole year. We see impressive growth from partners that join Good Deeds Day and join the month of Global Volunteer Month in April, because it just really allows more visibility. We've got lots of different big, organizations joining from other networks like your United Ways and Hands-Ons, volunteer centers, big companies, as well as other local organizations. So it's really all about the good that you can do. And also one of our biggest messages for this year, and this really relates to what was touched upon earlier around the loneliness epidemic and the rates of volunteering have gone down, is we're really tapping into what it really means to do good from an individual perspective, because we know that when you do good, you also feel good. And that's also important. So that's also something that can help lift all of us up, because we can help others and and also help ourselves at the same time. So our slogan this year is around it feels good to do good. Taking part is also very similar to what was mentioned earlier. It can be as simple as tagging existing projects that you already have planned for April as part of Good Deeds Day and Global Volunteer Month. It could be organizing different projects or different events, tagging different things on social media, showing your community that you're taking part. It could be partnering with other community organizations or others that you haven't yet partnered with, but you want to, can be a good excuse to reach out to them. Again, Good Deeds Day being global and reaching, in one day we reach over, I think last year was over 4 million people on one day in 115 countries. A great way to get the press involved and give them a story that they want to tell, which also heightens your own exposure. We have lots of ways to take part on our website. We have lots and lots of resources, from toolkits on how to organize a project, how to organize an event, how to get started, to all kinds of graphics and downloads as well, similar to those provided by Points of Light and Global Volunteer Month. I'll add the link to the site in a second in the chat, but we've got all kinds of Canva templates that can be personalized with our logo, without. You're welcome to use it as you wish. And just today, we opened registration for Good Deeds Day. And so it's open until the day of, until April. And those that are already know what you're doing, you can already go ahead and register your project. And participating organizations can request free t-shirts for you and your volunteers. You can order more and purchase more if you want. And those we co-brand, and we put your logo on it, as well as Global Volunteer Month, Points of Light, so we can all highlight the collaboration and the good that we're doing together. We also are here to help. You can feel free to reach out to me, feel free to connect. I'm happy to chat through anything. Really all about helping people amplify the good that they are already doing, and how we can just create more impact together. So you can go to the next slide, please. Just a few examples on what it can look like around the world, from India to the Caribbean to the States. Lots of different ways people have done good and taken part in Good Deeds Day and Global Volunteer Month. It's really as easy as sharing and tagging, and it can be even more deeper and even more involved as creating events and branding and things like that. Really encourage people to think about the low-hanging fruit, the partnerships, those that are already doing Good Deeds Day in your community that you can tap into. Other strategic things we've seen is people creating a community calendar of what's going on in the community. So it might not be just the projects that you offer, but also those around you, and offering your community a way to take part. And we're all about, co-branding, and we're all about highlighting each other as well. In the next two slides here is a bit of a timeline and an action plan that you'll receive this after the call, that can help guide your planning from now until, through the end of April, through Good Deeds Day and Global Volunteer Month, and just through your projects coming up, on how to kind of think about it and help guide your planning to, we tried to break it down and make it as easy as possible and actionable of the things to do, in the weeks leading up as well. And everything is linked here to our website and the social media kit provided by Points of Light. But feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need any help.
Thank you, Hannah. Okay, so again, these are going to be available to you. I know we keep mentioning that, but I wanted to run through, sorry about that. I wanted to run through just some ideas. I love a good brainstorming session. So these were just a few creative ideas in telling your personal story. These are, the first one was one of our ambassadors from last year, but he told a personal story that we asked him to tell that story of something that resonated with him. So he involves his family, and it really did a great job of showcasing what it meant to him as an individual. And again, this could be an individual volunteer within your organization. It could be a board member. It can be a staff member. most people that are involved in some capacity have a story to tell. So this could be done throughout the entire month or at the start of it as you're leading into Global Volunteer Month. You also saw before we did a great collaboration with Repair the World and Good Deeds Day. This is a great way to open up your organization to new audiences. And it can be as simple as just coordinating some photos within each other, adding it into a video, and then sharing that across each of your platforms as a collaborative post. Some other ideas, a LinkedIn newsletter, Canine well, you can't go wrong with puppies, but Canine Companions did a great LinkedIn newsletter and did a couple of those throughout the month. United Way, there's a couple examples here. They did a series of posts just simply thanking their volunteers, and they did that a couple times throughout the month. It means a lot to the people that you're thanking, but it also showcases some of the work that they're doing. You can make a big splash like our Global Network affiliate Volunteer New York did, and they lit up the bridge in honor of Global Volunteer Month. Start planning now if you're doing something like that, but reach out to contacts and connections that you have and think be creative about some of those ideas. And then lastly, United Way Nigeria, they did a volunteer spotlight series. So they did a volunteer of the day. So every single day throughout the month, they spotlighted a specific volunteer and just told their story. So those are just a few examples just to kind of get your creative thoughts going. I also put together I love a good swipe file too. So I put together some ideas just for you to kind of go through and see if anything resonated. If you go down to the very last bullet point, will also be a link to a digital file that we created with some social posts from last year that again just show a variety of ideas. It's a digital Wakelet board, so you'll be able to click right into the social post from the person that shared it, and again just use those ideas to generate some thoughts. The last thing that I wanted to share on my behalf is just, I thought this was a great example of really showcasing that Global Volunteer Month truly is a worldwide movement. We had over 50 countries participate last year and share their powers of stories of service and impact and just inspire change. So as you're getting involved in Global Volunteer, just remember that you are a part of something around the world. And I'm hoping that the next for us, are they on here, Lauren?
So excited to introduce our final guest speakers. We have Shreya and Aisha Venkat, who are here to share a bit more about how they've participated in Global Volunteer Month.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Perfect. Like you said, I'm Isha. My sister Shreya is here joining the call as well. And we both are the founders of Nest for Us. I'm joining here from Atlanta, Georgia right now. I just got some weird lighting. Joining from Atlanta, Georgia right now. I'm over at Georgia Tech. I'm a sophomore studying public policy, and I'll have Shreya introduce herself as well. I think she may be frozen, but basically Shreya is a master's student at Georgetown majoring in global health. And she's actually right now in Tanzania studying abroad. So I'm not sure if she can hear me, but she is doing amazing work over there. So she may be in and out. But yeah, basically.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Shreya. But it's choppy. Okay, she'll come in and out, like I said, but
Hi, can you hear me?
yes, Shreya, we can hear you.
So sorry. So sorry. I'm currently in a village called Morogoro in Tanzania. I'm studying abroad here for the next 3 months. So I apologize for my internet, but I'm very excited to be here with you all today and to talk about Nest for Us and Global Volunteer Month. So in case I pop in and out, Isha will take it over. But thanks so much for the invite. We love our Points of Light family. We love being George H.W. Bush Points of Light Award honorees, Daily Point of Light honorees. And so it's an absolute thrill to be here. So Isha, take it away.
Absolutely. We do love our Points of Light family, and they've supported us so much alongside our mission. It's crazy to say, but we've been running our nonprofit Nest for Us for 8 years now. So it's been a really long journey. I feel old, even though I'm only 19. And it's been amazing. And really, we started giving back as a family. Shreya and I would go along with our parents to different like school community volunteer events, even when we were really young. And that's when we were first really introduced to this world of community service. And we thought, hey, this is so fun. And we get this joy and this excitement that we don't get anywhere else. How do we, spread that joy and spread that love to more families and more friends all across the community? So we created 5 core programs. We have Nest Nurtures, Nest Tutors, Nest Cares, Nest Buddies, and Nest Inspires, all based on this idea that we want young people, families, friends to come together and really volunteer and serve in whatever area or areas they're really interested in. So that can look like anything from zero hunger to climate action to quality education. Whatever social issue or issues you're passionate about, we have a program or initiative for you. And really all of this was really spurred by our core values of kindness and service and unity, and really bringing people together, collaborating with other people. And especially since Shreya and I are young, I guess we can't say that for very much longer once we graduate college and everything, but we're young for now. And we know how important it is to get young people involved, get youth like us started in service, because we know how transformative that was for us starting out. So we know like targeting schools and youth and people all across the world is so important to building this volunteer movement, because we can't do it without the young people. And since those 8 years, we've grown to over 8,000 volunteers from all over the world who've together contributed over $5 million in value of volunteer hours. And in the next slide, we can talk more about some of our global volunteer plans that we've been able to accomplish with our dual approach and our strategy of holistic awareness and passionate action. So not just telling people, okay, a lot of people are homeless and then leaving, but actually explaining about the issues, talking about it, discussing it, and then going out in the community and taking action. So Shreya, I'm going to hope that you can unmute here and talk a little bit about our Global Volunteer Month.
I can.
Perfect.
Yes. Thank you so much, Isha, for giving that overview. And so, yeah, we have been taking part in Global Volunteer Month and the kind of sister partner days for, I would say, our entire 8 years thus far, which has been amazing. And so we're very excited this year to have a lot of special things, some new, some old, always exciting things. So we've been having a tradition to celebrate Global Volunteer Month with a wide array of service opportunities. Can you hear me? Sorry, it looks like I froze.
We can. We can hear you. You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, I think she's off camera. She's trying again. Okay, I will pick it up. It's fine. Okay.
I'm back.
Yes, we can hear you the whole time.
It just started thunderstorming outside, so the electric power lines might have been disrupted. Yeah, so I was saying we have been having a tradition for almost 8 years now to have just a variety of different service opportunities provided throughout our 5 programs, as you should mention. And so we celebrate Global Volunteer Month, Good Deeds Day, Global Youth Service Day, Earth Day, with a variety of different in-person, virtual, and hybrid opportunities. We also are really excited for our community resource distributions to really amplify the impact of supporting over 150 families every week. And so that's going to be really exciting. And we have a lot of exciting service projects and community give back events planned with corporate and community partners as well. I'm not sure if I'm still frozen.
Yep, and we also have different global summits as well. So we balance that awareness and action with different topics like leadership and sustainability, kindness, youth leadership, different things like that. And we not only host these different projects on Global Volunteer Month, but all year round as well. But Global Volunteer Month is really special to us because it's really a chance, like we've talked about through this entire webinar, to really showcase our volunteers, thank our volunteers for what they do, and really just showcase a lot of the different projects and initiatives that we have going on. So as you can see see here in the pictures, one of the main trends that we do is as you can see, is this notion of community and bringing people together of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all demographics. And we've been able to do that in a lot of different ways. Thank you. Bringing people together, in service and really utilizing these things like social media to get volunteers involved, partnerships, partnering with local community organizations and businesses, schools, and really perpetuating as much impact as possible. And one thing special that we're going to also be doing for Global Volunteer Month is, since Shreya is in Tanzania and is coming in and out, she's also going to be doing some amazing projects over there to really amplify that global reach, because that's the part of Global Volunteer Month, is that global aspect. So making sure that we're involving all of the different collaborators and people that we're involved with all across the world is really important to us. So you can see in this bottom left picture of one of our Global Volunteer Month activities in India. We always work with a lot of different people for our Earth Day Summit from all over the world to bring in different speakers and activists. So there's really a lot of ways to make volunteering, not just in our local area or national area, but really touch lives globally. I also know Good Deeds Day does a lot of good work, and we've been able to connect with a lot of people through the Good Deeds Day organization. So we definitely recommend getting involved with them as well, and really seeing what's going on, what other organizations are doing amazing work, and being able to collaborate and really maximize that impact. So Shreya, I don't know if you are hopped in to give one last thing. I don't know if she can hear me. I don't think she can hear me. But basically, that's pretty much our little spiel with what we do with Nest for Us. We're really excited for Global Volunteer Month this upcoming year, and I can put in our information in the chat as well to stay connected. But basically, everything that you need to know about our organization is on our website, which is nestforus.org, for all the different events and opportunities that we're doing today, tomorrow, and of course during Global Volunteer Month. And again, thank you Points of Light for this opportunity. Sorry it was a little bit in and out here. I actually have class after this too, so we're really coming in everything, but we really do love our Points of Light family, and we're excited to continue supporting, and we look forward to seeing what amazing work that everybody here on this call is going to accomplish.
Just thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Before we mention our Points of Light conference, just wanted to see if there were any additional questions for folks in the chat that we can help answer. I know the Points of Light team was throughout the call trying to be as responsive as possible to some of your questions. So I will just give that a moment. Feel free to pop them in before we hop off today. But our Points of Light conference is going to take place this year, June 3rd through 6th in New Orleans. We're very excited about that. And this conference brings together nonprofit and NGO, corporate, education, government, and civic leaders committed to increasing volunteering and civic engagement around the world through cutting-edge strategies, cross-sector solutions, global conversations, and a bold commitment to strengthening communities. We hope, if you're able to, we'd love to see you in New Orleans for what is sure to be a really meaningful and inspiring week. If you enjoyed what we were talking about today, the conference is another place for several days to have these types of conversations around how we support our communities. We're engaging volunteers in meaningful ways, and it's sure to be a really amazing week. And so with that, would really like to take this moment on behalf of Points of Light to thank you all for taking time out of your day to join us here today. This Global Volunteer Month, we think, is going to be the biggest one yet, and we hope all of you will join us in this movement. As a reminder, you will receive a copy of the presentation we shared today, as well as a recording. And so we encourage you to share these materials with anyone you think might be interested in participating, or some of your other colleagues. Again, thank you so much, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.